either side of him, there's not much to see. He's wafer thin, just a paper man, destined for the garbage can. But he's more than two dimensions. He's got big dreams and bold intentions, there is no doubt. Just listen to me and you'll find out that he's more than a paper man. More than a paper man. His name is Flat.
Number 54, The Adventures of Flat Randy, Chillin' in Chi-Town. Written by Beepa Emmett. Inspired by Jeff Brown. Illustrated by Beepa Emmett. Flat Randy was on his way to Elmhurst, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. This is where Beepa and Bea grew up. Aunt Cheryl was Bea's sister and still lived there. Randy was looking forward to seeing the sights and to get out of the freezing cold of Michigan. But Randy was not feeling much warmer. Like his trip to Michigan, Randy heard the airport sounds. He felt the airplane take off and land at what he thought would be O'Hare Airport in Chicago. A picture of O'Hare Airport, but in the summer. But Randy was still feeling cold and didn't understand why. There was a big snowstorm brewing in Chicago. It was just as cold as Michigan. And Randy's trip to the mailbox was just as cold. Soon Flat Randy felt someone gently pick him up and bring him into somewhere warm. The envelope opened and Randy looked out. There was someone in front of him, but Randy didn't know who it was. She was wearing a mask. "Hi, Flat Randy. Don't be scared. I'm Aunt Cheryl, Bea's older sister. Sorry if I frightened you, but I can't be too careful about the COVID. Uncle Rich had a kidney transplant, and we can't be too careful. Can I get you anything?" "Yes," said Randy. "Cocoa, please." As Flat Randy warmed up and drank his cocoa, he told Aunt Cheryl about his adventures with Ella, Bryce, and Bev. He also told Aunt Cheryl how cold it had been and how he had hoped that Chicago would be warmer. Nice and warm in a sauna. Ah. Aunt Cheryl told Flat Randy that a winter heat wave was heading into town and it will be warmer for the next few days. Perfect for sightseeing. Oh, heat wave tomorrow. With that said, Flat Randy could hardly wait until they started their sightseeing trip in the morning. I guess he's off to bed, and that's a pretty nice room. The next morning, Aunt Cheryl told Flat Randy to mask up. "We need to run a few errands here in Elmhurst, then we head out to Chicago." Welcome to Elmhurst, established in 1882. Population 44,121, plus one, Flat Randy. Elmhurst is where Bea was born and grew up. It was the biggest town and had the only hospital for miles around. Beepa and Beepa's father were born in the same hospital as Bea, but not at the same time. First stop, Jewel's Supermarket. Can you see Flat Randy up there? Aunt Cheryl thought Flat Randy might find some relatives, but no luck. Next stop, the library. Welcome to the Elmhurst Public Library. Then a quick stop at the Veterans Clinic for Uncle Rich. Choose the VA, choose Hines Hospital. On the way back home to drop off Uncle Rich, Flat Randy passed York High School. Aunt Cheryl, Bea, and all her brothers and sisters went there. Then Aunt Cheryl blew Flat Randy's mind when she told him that Beepa's father went there too and graduated back in 1947. Whoa! There's York High School. They passed by the York Theater. Bea and Beepa had seen many movies there. Then they passed the York Commons Park. Uncle Robbie broke his arm after falling off the monkey bars there when he was a little boy. Then Aunt Cheryl and Flat Randy headed for downtown Chicago to see some really neat places. First stop, Chicago Art Museum. Then the Field Museum of Natural History. Then two sporting places, Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, and Soldier Field, home of the Bears. Flat Randy was having a great time, but his stomach started making all kinds of noises, and he knew it was time to get something to eat. Flat Randy asked Aunt Cheryl if there was there any place they could stop for lunch, and Aunt Cheryl said that Beepa had left her a message that if Flat Randy got hungry in Chicago, take him to Portillo's. Ho ho! Italian beef with peppers, the best sandwich ever. After a great meal, Flat Randy and Aunt Cheryl headed back to Elmhurst. On the way back, the radio said that good weather was over and a big snowstorm was heading their way. Ooh, Flat Randy asked Aunt Cheryl to pack him up and send him back to Florida the next day. That night it indeed snowed. Before Flat Randy left, he took a picture of Aunt Cheryl's backyard. Oh my, I guess it did snow. Then back in an envelope for his trip to Florida. Now in a mailbag on a jet heading to Orlando, Flat Randy had one thing on his mind. Randy was able to make himself flat. Would the instructions he left for Beepa make Flat Randy turn back into Randy? The end. If you're interested in having Flat Randy visit your location for a photo adventure to share, write Randy and ask for Flat Randy to visit. You can email him at randyrutabaga0@gmail.com.